had to go from flying a single-engine prop airplane to being a captain in that jet. And the only way to do it was that Sven was not only the one who sold it, but he was the one that was that step that I needed. Just like all of you, the step that you need is you can ride off of the wake that Warrior Notes is creating. You can become part of that. And Sven, just like Jesus Christ, even though Jesus has more hair and a little bit taller, but Sven is like Jesus Christ in the sense of he took a lower position for a whole year. He was a trainer. Like where I went to get my captain's rating, he used to teach there. He actually helped write and build the training for the Phenom 300, along with Lou that you've already met as well, who is a very high up executive there at that training facility all over the world. Okay, so what happens is, it's even in the system of training, he takes a lower seat over in the first officer's position as a mentor, and I get the captain's seat for a year, and he trains me to become a captain. And so that's what they did for a whole year. So he took a lower position than he's qualified for by being in the first officer's seat. But he was my mentor, and he let me learn accelerated for a year. And that is what we're all about. And that's what I want to do with the children, is I want to put them on a fast track, because I know what a child needs. A child needs to know their value. A child needs to know that they can have their dreams. They can. And how you do that is you work with them and put them on the track of where the gifting is. You don't allow them to be limited in their learning. So our education system is flawed. And the way that Jesus did it was he put the disciples on a fast track through application. He put them in the same situation with him, and he let them do it. And he kept a close eye on them. And that's what Sven did. He put me in that seat and let me learn for a year, so that when I went to take my test, it wasn't such a shock to me. And that's what we want to do at Warrior Notes. And I wanted him to talk about this, because what God has done for him and his family, and all our pilots, they have all increased because of what God's doing here. But I also know that they have added value as well. And we all add value. But we have to have people that have already done and been where we're going with us. We have to have people in our lives that are there. It makes it faster. Jesus was already there, and his disciples had to learn how to step into that through application. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to come to your city. We're going to do a one-nighter in all the cities. And then we're going to come to a spirit school, and then we're going to establish fellowships through the school. Then we're going to start distributing food so that you can have an outreach. And we're going to train you how to be a facilitator and teach a Bible study every week. This is not in competition with the local churches, because I don't want church people. I want the people that don't have a church, and I want the people that are unsaved. And you should invite your boss and your coworkers to these Bible studies, and if they need food or water, you should have it on hand, because you're not going to send any money to me or to Warrior Notes that comes from that. If you take an offering, which you will, you take it and it stays right there in your house to buy what is needed for the next week in case someone needs to pay their rent. Do you get it? Okay. So, and also, just so you know, Sven is doing a lot of other things besides the fact that we have all these other, we have 2 airplanes that we're operating now, plus the third one that we're leasing, and we're leasing another one from him. So we have 2 airplanes. We own one and we lease one from him because we outgrew that one. Until we find a bigger one, we've had to lease another one to go overseas, because that can go 11 hours in the air, which is very important when you're going over water, you know.